Good morning or afternoon or evening or whatever it is where you are currently. I've been so excited to do this tag. I've been meaning to make a video about some of my favorite YouTubers for ages, and so this tag has given me the perfect opportunity to do just that. And I think this is the first time I'm doing a tag when it's actually still relevant, so that's also exciting. First question is, how many channels are you subscribed to? So I think like most people doing this tag, I went to the subscription section on my YouTube page and I was subscribed to 175 channels, but I went through them all and quite a few people I was subscribed to had actually either deleted all their videos or just hadn't uploaded a video in a really long time. And not just booktubers, but also like a few well-known vloggers. So I unsubscribed to heaps of channels and I now follow 141, and 34 of those are booktube channels. Question number 2 is, when do you watch booktube? So I watch booktube while I'm at work, and specifically booktube channels as opposed to other more vlog channels that I watch, just because with booktube you can not look at the screen the whole time and just listen to what the person is saying about the books. So I kind of use booktube videos in the same way that I listen to podcasts at work as well. I work in an office job typing at a computer, so I can't just listen to stuff all day and it doesn't really matter. Because I do work full time, I kind of have to watch stuff at work to get through it all. I will also watch videos if I wake up early enough in the morning before I have to go to work, or on the weekend as well. Question 3 is, how do you balance booktube watching, making your own videos, and reading? So I definitely prioritize reading out of those 3. I try and read 50 pages a day of whatever book I'm currently reading, just to make sure I'm consistently reading. I used to work about an hour's bus and train journey from my house, so I would get 2 hours of solid reading in pretty much every weekday. But now I only live like a 15 to 20 minute bus ride, and it's not a lot of time to really get stuck into a book, and often the bus is pretty full, so I have to stand up, so I don't get to read anything on those occasions. So I've taken to bringing my book out into the living room so that if my sister and I are watching something with ads, I can read during the ads, or I'll just read during something that I'm not particularly interested in if she's watching something that she really wants to watch. That way I'm not just hiding myself in my bedroom and being antisocial, but I'm still doing something useful with my time. I've definitely made the effort to read before I go to bed this year, because I've heard that reading really helps with sleeping. I'm not sure that I've particularly found it to help with my sleeping, but I have been sleeping better recently. I don't know whether that's because I find it easier to sleep in cooler weather. Who really knows? My sleeping patterns are a mystery to me. So yeah, back to the question. I prioritize reading, and then I don't really prioritize watching videos, but I do that more than making videos, just because I do it at work and I can't unfortunately make videos when I'm at work. So making videos, although I would like to make more and prioritize that more, just because I work full time and I don't get a lot of alone time in the house on the weekend, means that I don't get to make as many as I would like to. And I'd love to make other kinds of videos as well, like vlogs or just talking about things that aren't book related, but due to the time constraints, it's a lot easier to make book related videos just because I'm already reading anyway, regardless of whether I was making videos about reading. So the content is already there, I just have to talk about it. Also with vlogs, I don't really do anything particularly interesting. Maybe if I do something interesting one day, I will try and vlog it. Question 4, is there a difference between the videos you like to make and the videos you like to watch? Well, considering I am subscribed to way more just sort of vlog channels and personal channels as opposed to booktube channels, I think shows that I don't necessarily watch a huge amount of booktube videos. I do very regularly watch the people that I really like that I'm subscribed to. This is mainly just because I discovered booktube a few years into watching YouTube, so I just have collected up a bunch more other kinds of YouTubers that I watch regularly rather than booktubers. But I am finding that so many of those YouTubers that I used to watch like 2 or 3 years ago are not really updating their channels anymore, purely because I guess they're moving into the industries that they initially started YouTube to get into, or to practice the craft of, like, you know, musicians and filmmakers and stuff like that. So booktubers are currently the most prolific people in my subscription box, so I probably do watch more booktube videos than anything else now. Number 5, who is the first booktuber you subscribed to, and are you still subscribed to them? I'm pretty sure the first booktuber I subscribed to was Sana from Books and Quills. I remember my friend friend who's also into watching YouTube recommending her to me, and I remember her saying, "You'll love her. She's a YouTuber, but she just mainly talks about books." And I did, and I subscribed, and I definitely still watch Sana's videos. Number 6, who is the most recent booktuber you subscribe to? I'm going to list a couple of people for the next few questions, just because why should I limit myself to one person? So the very last booktuber I subscribed to was Sophia from the Literary Casanova. Every now and then when I get the time, I like to search for the Booktube newbie tag in YouTube and just select the filter to be videos from the last month, and then go through some of the videos under that tag to find new booktubers to watch and subscribe to. And literally yesterday I found Sophia that way. She is a fellow Australian booktuber. I really liked her video. It made me laugh, and I liked the variety of books that she talked about that she likes to read. Another person I recently subscribed to is Nika from Pont Mercying Through Life. I hope I pronounced that all correctly. I found Nika's channel because she commented on a few of my videos. I'm not sure if she intends on being a full booktuber as such. She's got a couple of videos up, and one of them is her favorite books from last year. I think you'll really like Nika if you like fantasy books and fairy tale books, but she also talked about other kinds of books as well, and again, the variety of books that she talked about definitely appealed to me. And Nika's also from Austria, and I just love subscribing to people from different countries all over the world, because I feel like that's such an amazing advantage of booktube, is getting glimpses into the lives of people who live on the other side of the world from you. Number 7 is Cher, an old favorite booktuber. So someone I feel like I've subscribed to from the very beginning of me starting a booktube channel is Tash from Tash Talks Tons. Tash is another fellow Australian. She understands the Del Toro Quest love, which is very important. I don't necessarily want to read all the same books that Tash does, but I always love hearing her reviews about them anyway. She doesn't hold back when she doesn't like a book, and she creates really interesting and critical and well-rounded reviews. She also has really great hair. Another old favorite is Vix from 1 Minute Reads. She also has amazing hair. Again, Vix reads a lot of variety of books, so I know there's always something that she talks about that I will be interested in, and I feel like we have a similar taste in books, so after watching her wrap-ups, I'm always adding books to my TBR. I personally am not a fan of really long single book reviews unless I've already read the book, and so what Vix does is an approximately 1 minute long video review about individual books that she really wants to talk about outside of her regular wrap-up, and I feel like this is a really awesome way to get a slightly more in-depth review about one book that will help me work out whether I want to read it, but without giving away too much of the plot. Also very good for time poor people like me. Number 8 is Cher, a new favorite booktuber. 2 people I'm going to mention I don't think are particularly new in terms of when I subscribed to them, but they are newer in that I think I subscribed to them late last year. The first one is Emma from Emma's Books and Bubbles. Emma reads so many books every month, which I'm always impressed by. I wish I had the ability to read that many books, because I would get through my TBR so much faster. Emma also reads a huge variety, which means there's always at least one book that I'm either interested in reading or have already read from her wrap-ups, which means I usually have something to say in the comments, which makes me happy because I love commenting on videos a lot. Emma is also studying theatre at university, or is it called college in America? I'm not sure. So she reads a lot of plays, which is also really interesting to hear about. Another slightly newer favorite is Pip from Pips Reads. She is another Australian, also a ranger. I feel like I should explain what ranger means, because I think it's an Australian term. It is a colloquial term for someone with red hair, and I believe it originates from the word orangutan, because they also have red hair. Also, I think some people get offended by that word because it is used often, especially in high school, in a derogatory way, but I feel like I can reclaim the word ranger, and I quite like it. It's just a fun word to say, ranger. Anyway, side note, Pip also reads such a great variety of books. I really like her reviews. They're really thoughtful and in-depth, and she is amazingly talented at editing as well. Question 9 is, what is one of your booktube pet peeves? For ages I was trying to think of one, and then I realized it is background music in booktube videos, and it's kind of weird because lots of sit-down vloggers use music as a background, just I think to give their videos a bit more of a light and fun feel, as opposed to just sort of deathly silence behind them, and maybe also to cover up background noise. But when it comes to booktube videos, I find background music just really gets in the way of me trying to concentrate on what the person is saying. Question 10 is, what have you learned from watching other booktubers? I think I've learned that there are so many books in the world, and obviously I already knew this, that there are countless novels and other types of books being published every single year in every single language. But I think the thing that gets overwhelming is when people talk about authors that I've never heard of, but they talk about them in a way as if they're really famous authors and that everyone should have heard of them already. And I find that quite overwhelming because I thought I had a relatively good grasp on like really well-known authors, and then to find out there are all these other authors that I've been missing out on this whole time. So I think it's kind of taught me not to panic that I won't be able to read all the books I want to in my lifetime, because I genuinely won't be able to read all the books that I want to in my lifetime. Even if I lived like 1,000 years, I probably still wouldn't be able to read them all. So I think it's helped me to really focus my reading on things that I genuinely really want to read. I've also learnt that there are so many different ways that people can read books and different ways that people can react to books as well. It's always fascinating when you read a book and you have a strong reaction to it, and then you watch a review and the person has a completely opposite strong reaction to it. Or you read a book and you have a really mild reaction and you think, oh, that was okay, that was nice, I enjoyed it, and then you find someone who can just like tear it apart completely and find all these things wrong with it, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't even think about that. On the other hand, it's also amazing to see how books can truly be universal. It's amazing watching booktubers from countries all around the world and find that people are having the same reactions to books. So number 11 is tag some of your favorite booktubers. So I might list a few booktubers in the description box that I also enjoy watching, and I also tag everybody I've already mentioned in this video if you haven't already done it to do this tag. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!